knew Coach Hobbs was going to pull me as soon as the first thing happened. And I was just kind of sitting back in the tunnel, just my head down. I was like, what just happened? Like, I was just kind of shocked for a minute. And then I went back to the dugout after he pulled me, and I just kind of sat on the rail, and I was just sitting there. I was like, that's not going to happen again. I'm not going to, like, at least, I don't know if it's going to happen again, but I'm not going to make it happen, like, let it happen again.
Hagen Smith is Arkansas's new all-time strikeout leader.
He struck him out looking, backdoored him with a slider. Hagen Smith strikes out the side.
Smith's pitching prowess didn't happen by chance. For the SEC Pitcher of the Year, mediocrity was never an option.
I want to be the best pitcher in the country coming into this year, and there's always more in the tank, especially from last year to this year.
Despite leading the team in ERA and strikeouts in 2023, it wasn't enough for Smith, who wanted more, which led to working tirelessly in the offseason to get stronger and expand his arsenal.
Just having that fourth pitch, I mean, I had a decent changeup my freshman year, but I also threw a lot different, so it helped me a lot this year.
The preseason hype for the 2024 season was high, but Hagen's first outing didn't go so well, and he was pulled after just one inning.
Hagen able to fight through it, Troy, but how about that 3-run frame for the Dukes? One inning for Hagen Smith.
It was definitely a little slap in the face. I was just sitting there, I was like, that's not going to happen again.
Ever since, he's been one of the most dominant pitchers in college baseball.
He struck him out. Got him looking. Hagen Smith has tied the school record with 17 strikeouts, but he's done it in 6 dominating innings.
Just gotta be fearless and have like ultimate conviction when you're pitching.
And just like Smith keeps his thoughts on the next pitch, he also keeps his focus on Arkansas and what's to come, despite being a top MLB draft prospect.
That's where people mess up. That's where they lose their focus on the season, and they start looking forward to the next thing, and they lose focus of what's happening right now. I just want to win it all.
Staying in the moment, his humble approach and work ethic led to one of the most dominant seasons in Arkansas history. The Razorbacks strikeout king.
He struck him out looking. There is a new career strikeout king at the University of Arkansas, and it's Hagen Smith.
So you don't ever wake up in the morning and be like, man, I'm the best pitcher in the country.
No.
What's funny about your story, what's cool about it, is we did a feature on Hogs Plus about you, and it was about, you just weren't happy with the way the season ended. I saw Coach Van Horn mention it at the Swatters Club last year. And, guys do different things in the summer to get better, but you just went right back to work. What was your mentality coming out of last year?
Yeah, definitely disappointed how it ended. I mean, I had a bad start against TCU, and then we lost that game, so we had to play another one. And so, I mean, it was just disappointing for the team, just kind of let them down a little bit. And then going into the summer, I knew I was going to go to Team USA. Coach Hobbs already told me that, so it was awesome being there and doing that. And then after that, I think I took like a week off, and then I just came back up here.
I mean, the season's a grind.
Yeah.
It's like, 60, 70 games if you're in Omaha?
Something like that.
And, even though you don't play every single game, I mean, you're working every single day just with your workouts and all that stuff. What's that like when you're not pitching, by the way?
Yeah, so, I mean, I usually do a lift Sunday after a start. And Saturday I'll do like a mobility kind of move around thing, just kind of get my blood flow going. And then Sunday we'll do like a heavy leg day. Take Monday off from lifting, but then just throw. Then Tuesday I have a bullpen and then lift in there. Wednesday, throw, no lift. Thursday, throw, no lift. And then Friday, game.
I want to get into like your workouts.
Yeah.
And this is kind of where I was going a second ago, is you had that mentality coming out of the season, and a lot of people do that. I mean, and anybody that's a competitor that wants to be better obviously knows how to grind. But it doesn't mean that you're going to get the results that you've gotten this year. I mean, was your mentality, I'm going to be that good?
I mean, yeah, I want to be the best pitcher in the country. Like coming into this year, and then me and Coach Bell and Coach Hobbs talked about it. There's always more in the tank, especially from last year to this year, and then this year to next year. There's just more in the tank in my body, just like in even little stuff in the weight room or throwing, mechanics, anything like that.
It's the mentality you want to have, obviously, and then to work that hard and achieve and get to this level. Then it's a different mentality, right? Because we can all be like, man, I'm fat. I want to get in better shape. And then you get there, and then sometimes it's hard to stay there or keep improving. So what's that process been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to keep up with the workouts and eating right during the season because we travel so much and we're just never really here all the time. Especially, I mean, we are at the beginning of the season, but now when SEC play starts, we're always traveling and stuff. So just really trying to stay on top of it, like weight room stuff, eating, just talking with Coach Bell like daily, just seeing what I could do in the weight room, taking an off day here and there.
Is it tempting to take it easy sometimes? Like, man, I mean, I'm 9-0. I got 125 strikeouts. I mean, I know you don't think exactly like that, but that arrival thing where you're trying to achieve something, it's like kryptonite sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, as soon as you start thinking like that, then it goes way downhill. I was talking to Coach Bell again yesterday. We're after my lift, and I was like, we only have 4 more weeks guaranteed. I was like, we got to go more. We got to go harder now.
I'm watching you work out on these videos on Hogs Plus. I'm like, dang, man, that looks like it hurts.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt at all. I mean, we still have a bunch of guys on the team that are way stronger than me. So, I mean, it's fun working out with all the pitchers.
But you look like you're grinding.
Oh yeah, we all are. Everybody.
When you're on the mound, does that give you a sense of confidence?
Just kind of like a peace. Just all the work that you put in going into the Friday. I mean, it's kind of like you put in all the work for. I mean, if you do bad, I mean, it's just kind of what happens. I was telling Peyton the other day. I think he was frustrated the other week how he played, and I was like, you kind of have to go. Like, if you have a bad day, you have a bad day. You got to move on. Especially for a position player, you have 3 games or even 5 games when we play midweek. So, but for pitchers, it's a little frustrating. You have a bad outing, but because you only have one. Especially a starter, you have one a week. So you got to make the most of it.
Man, I think one of the hardest things in the world to do is be consistent. To do the exact same thing when you wake up in the morning, for example. Like just walk to the same place, try to just do that every day and hit the first 3 things. It's like something always can disrupt you.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost as if we get bored with it. What has been the key for you when it comes to consistency?
I think just I'm a routine oriented guy. Like I just love having like a set routine each day. I mean, I wake up and probably do the same thing every single morning. So I mean, just doing that, I feel like I just translate here a little bit. I mean, I like to do the same thing every day when I come here.
Strikeouts. You had 17 in one game against Oregon State. It's a lot.
Yeah.
How many outs are there in a game? 27?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah. It's mostly strikeouts. In another game where you're 14 strikeouts, that's dominant. How do you do that?
I don't know.
What is it about your approach and your ability and your work that accumulates that kind of dominance?
I think it's just, as we talk about as a pitching staff all the time, is just got to be fearless and have like ultimate conviction when you're pitching.
We're all driven by fear. Talk more about that.
Yeah, I mean, fear is just a mindset, I think. I mean, if you go out there and you think you're gonna be scared, then you're gonna do horrible. Like you just gotta go out there knowing like it's gonna go good or bad. Like you just gotta go be fearless out there and do everything you can with conviction.
Let's break that down.
Yeah.
So that looks like if I screw this up mentality, 100%. Right? It also looks like if you give up a home run, oh no, what now?
Oh yeah.
Those are both fear-based
100%.
things. So how do you deal with those 2 moments? You're about to throw a pitch. It's a big situation. That's one. How do we deal with that one?
Just breathe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've kind of always been like that growing up. It's just a game at the end of the day. Like, I mean, he's going to get a hit or I'm going to throw it past him. I don't know. I've always been like that.
And baseball is a game of failure.
Yeah.
And dealing with that failure is everything.
Yeah.
So when you fail or when it doesn't go well, and maybe it's not even a home run. Maybe it's just you got a guy 0-2 and you didn't execute a pitch and you're like, dang it. How do you handle that?
Yeah, it's definitely frustrating. I mean, give up a home run or like you said, 0-2 pitch, you just like walk him or go 0-2 to walk him. But it's kind of like just take a deep breath in between pitch. Every single pitch is a different pitch. So you got to have a mindset of the pitcher throwing right then rather than the last pitch.
We talked about your work ethic, the grind, all that stuff. What do you do mentally to be the healthiest version of you, to be able to think that way?
I don't know if I do anything like particular, honestly, but I mean, I go on walks in the morning just trying to clear my head, like no phone or no podcast
I mean, that's
or
a
anything.
big thing.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, just going. I mean, I have a dog too, so I just go take him on a walk and just kind of enjoy being outside.
What kind of dog you have?
Golden Retriever.
Name?
Harley.
Where did that come from?
I don't know. I got him when I was a freshman here, so it was a little tough getting him.
It's hard
Yeah.
to have a dog.
Oh yeah.
What are some responsibilities? I mean, people that have a dog
Yeah.
know, but if you don't have a dog, you don't understand. It's something you got to kind of plan your life around that.
100%, which I didn't do at all. Yeah, not at all.
Early on?
Yeah. I mean, I think I just got him. I was like, all right, I'll just get him. And then I ended up having getting a girlfriend here, which we live together now. So, but she's from the same hometown as I am. So whenever school's out or like whenever I'm on a trip, she stays here with the dog.
So long-term relationship.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Did you know each other before?
We knew of each other. We never really talked or like hung out before we came here. We met each other my freshman year here.
So if you had to leave
Yeah.
the small town
Exactly.
of what?
Bullard.
Bullard
Yeah.
next to near Tyler, Texas?
Yeah.
It's like 5,000 people.
Yeah.
So you had to leave
it's
there
wild,
and
I
then
know.
go to the U of A to say, okay.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What's her name?
Catherine.
Did you guys graduate the same year?
She
high school?
graduated a year before me, so she's about to graduate Saturday.
All right.
Yeah.
What's the Bullard mascot? Bullard High School mascot.
Bullard Panthers.
Okay. Tell me about high school ball. How good were you?
I was pretty good. I mean, I don't think I was my best. I had Tommy John, so I was out my junior year, which also was COVID. So it kind of worked out in my favor a little bit. And then my senior year, I had a good year.
Tell me about your recruitment process, the draft, coming to Arkansas. What was the process there for you?
I committed to Oklahoma State when I was going into my sophomore year of high school. So going through that, and then something just didn't really work that well, so I decommitted, and then ultimately chose here.
And what kind of made you make that choice that this was the spot?
Just coming here, this building was getting built, and it was just awesome. I mean, it kind of felt like home. My mom's side of my family is actually from Southern Arkansas, so and kind of a coincidence, honestly, but it's been awesome since I've been here. Was
Coach Hobbs or Coach Van Horn more involved? I know everybody was, but was there one that was sort of leading and you were talking to more?
Probably just Coach Hobbs, since he's a pitching coach.
Makes sense.
Kind of had that relationship going into college too, so it was awesome.
I've seen you guys work together a little bit. What's Coach Hobbs like from your perspective?
Very intense, which I love. But he's a really, really good leader of the pitching staff. I mean, he knows so much about baseball. I mean, it's awesome to have him around, especially the other two pitching coaches, Barr and DJ. They do an amazing job with us.
Pretty sure I saw him in one of those shots with an energy drink. I'm thinking, it might have been like a Red Bull or something.
Maybe DJ or Barr?
No.
Coach Hobbs?
Yeah.
Oh, it's probably Celsius.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And I'm an energy drink guy, and I should drink less energy drink. Everybody should probably, right?
I'm a big energy drink
But
guy.
it's funny that the energy drink or the energy people sometimes drink more energy drinks, and you're like, hey man, I can't. You're talking so fast, I can't understand what you're saying. But he seems to bring the juice.
Oh yeah, always. Even in practice today, he was just giving us a hard time. Like everybody, like someone was throwing plows against the wall. I think it was Fouch, and he was just giving him a hard time for something. I can't remember exactly what he said, but he's always just has good energy in the building.
I think he used the word diabolical to explain one of your pitches.
Yeah.
Is that something he does a lot?
Yeah, I think he said that one time about Faraday's, one of Faraday's pitches. It was kind of funny after the meeting, but it was serious during the meeting, and then it was kind of funny to hear it after.
What other kind of words? Can you think of anything that he uses?
I probably can't say on the podcast.
You hear words filthy, nasty. He used the word diabolical.
Yeah, I've never really heard that many people use that word.
Yeah,
honestly.
So let's go back a little bit, and then we'll come back to how the season's going and the incredible year that you're having. Were you always good at sports in general? Was it always baseball? Did it take a while to figure out that some kids are kind of okay, and then they hit a growth spurt or they just develop and they take off. Some kids are really athletic and then they kind of hit a ceiling. Well, what were you like?
I feel like I was always the kid that kind of threw hard growing up.
Okay, big arm all the time.
And then I was just all right at basketball. I played basketball until my sophomore year in high school, and then I just quit, just focused on baseball. But yeah, I think I've always been the kid that's kind of just throwing hard, and then kind of developed my body a little bit growing up.
Did you ever play football?
No, never.
Throw football?
No.
Can you throw? Do you throw football?
No, I don't throw very
Warming
good
up or
football.
no?
No.
But you always have had. Like, were you the kid? Even 7, 8, whenever kid pitch started for you, probably around 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Were you always the guy throwing just gas?
Oh yeah, I think so. Back in I think there was one kid that threw harder than me. I remember it, but I think I threw pretty hard.
That's scary at that age because you don't want to get hit.
Yeah.
Talk about fear. It's like, oh, if that guy hits me, it's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, especially young kids.
Right. But you always had that, and then you started developing. When did you really start developing more pitches?
Probably my freshman year of high school.
Okay. Were you starting varsity or your
I
freshman
think
year?
I pitched a little bit on varsity my freshman year, and then sophomore year I started.
Playing summer ball and all that?
I played 1 year of like really competitive summer ball. It was going into my junior year, right before I got hurt. Well, I don't even think they're a team anymore, that they're called, but we played with a bunch of guys. I actually played with Hudson White on that team. So It was fun meeting him there, and then now he's here.
So you had Tommy John, junior year. That's a pretty big deal.
Yeah.
Would that freak you out?
A little bit once it happened. It was so long ago, I can't even remember. I think it was in 2019. But yeah, it was definitely really hard at first, but I think just looking back at it now is just kind of like a learning experience, kind of learn what I need to do to take care of my body. Just maybe before then I didn't really do much lifting or throwing wise. I just kind of show up and play on the weekends. Yeah. Just like I said, like baseball, I just go show up and play.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that was a big change for you when you got here?
Yeah, for sure.
What was the rehab process like where you missed your junior year with that Tommy John?
The rehab process is really long, especially when guys go through it here. I always tell them it's gonna. If they ask me, it's like it takes a long time until you start throwing again. Once you start throwing again, it kind of flies by.
It comes right back.
Oh yeah,
pretty quick.
Yeah.
Was there a point going into this year, after putting all the work in, that you felt like I'm a different player, I'm a different pitcher than I was last year? This, and it's different about me. I'm gonna be a lot better. I mean, you weren't terrible last year. What were you, like 8-2 with a 3.6 ERA or something like that?
Yeah, but I don't know. It was a weird year. I thought I was just all right. And then my freshman year,
I think a lot of people would enjoy being that all right.
Yeah, I mean, that's just.
But that's not your mentality.
Exactly.
I get that.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of guys like that on our team just have that mentality. They just want to get better and better. Which I think it's good for a culture perspective. It's like new guys coming in. That's kind of the standard. You have to get better every single day. So it's awesome being here like that.
You mentioned the culture about this place. It's interesting to hear different players, your teammates, talk about the culture here. And I feel like Van Horn's always been a really, really good coach, and there's always been good culture here. But it's interesting when you can recruit better players and better players and better players that have that mentality. They come here because they want to play at the next level. Yeah. I feel like it's changed a little bit from that standpoint.
Yeah.
But tell me about that, just from your perspective.
I feel like we, as Arkansas, we have standards to win here, which is awesome. I mean, coming in, I think every kid wants to win, obviously, a baseball game. So I feel like this is a place to be, honest, for every kid coming in out of high school or the JUCO, transfer portal, other schools. I mean, we just win here.
It has continued to go that way. It's so hard when you get into a tournament situation, even if you're the favorite, to win a championship. Is there a difference in dealing with the regular season and the postseason?
Oh yeah, definitely. Postseason's like a completely different ball game. It's like everyone plays a little harder. So especially when like you're trying to scout people, they don't typically do the same things as hitters. Like they're gonna kind of go out of their approach to get a hit, or they're like during the regular season they just get so many ABs, but during postseason you can only have like 5 ABs left and the season's over.
Yeah, it just goes up a notch.
Yeah, everybody.
But it seems like you guys have had that intensity also throughout the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for us to be like that during the regular season, kind of get us prepared for the postseason. I mean, a lot of guys, especially the freshmen, it's good to get them out there in high leverage situations like Gabe. Ryder's played in big games. I mean, I guess those are really the only two that kind of contribute the most, the freshmen, but it's good to get them out there early, and especially like I think Gabe pitched in like the bottom of the ninth at the Oklahoma State game. It's like one of his first outings, so it was awesome to see that.
How do you avoid getting exhausted. You know, it's a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's a long season.
I just think you got to love the game. I mean, I love baseball, so I don't really get that tired of it. I guess some guys can get tired of it because they're like, oh, we got to go back to the field. But I love it coming here, just hang out with the guys, being around all the coaches, and just being at the field.
What's it like pitching at home versus on the road?
Home's more relaxed, which is honestly, I think a bunch of the guys on the team like pitching on the road a little more.
They like pitching or
Pitching.
Yeah, okay.
Just because like it's a little chirpy, you kind of get your blood boiling a little bit, especially guys in the bullpen. I mean, I was in the bullpen my freshman year. I remember all the people coming out there by the bullpen just kind of chirping you a little bit, so you kind of have the edge going into the game.
You were in the bullpen. I remember Matt Hobbs saying, now we got to see if he can be a starter.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I started most of my freshman year, and then I went to the bullpen at the end of the year. But, I mean, I feel like last year I wasn't really a starter. Well, actually, I was half and half last year. I forgot about that.
Well, there's a difference between doing it and becoming the guy or the Friday night guy. Or, hey, you're one of the three guys that's going to bring it every weekend on this team.
Yeah, I mean, I guess last year just my biggest thing is walking people. I had a lot of walks. And talking to Hunter Holland last year, Connor Nolan the year before, and just kind of picking their brain a little bit. I mean, Connor was a long time ago, but Hunter, we still talk a lot. But yeah, I think just coming to this year, that's what I really want to do is be the dude, honestly, in my mind. That's what I told myself. So I just wanted to be that dude this year.
If you can't, I mean, for those of us that have never done it and stood up there and do what you do, I mean, how do you obviously you avoid walks by not throwing balls, but I mean, you got to throw things that are maybe around the zone or not all. It's not, or, you're a kid and you're just trying to throw strikes.
Yeah.
Way different game for somebody who might not understand that, not to insult, because that's pretty obvious. Yeah. But what happens to make that change? I mean, we talked about all the work and all that, but there's a craft there that you've got to develop.
I think it's just belief in everything. It's knowing your stuff's good enough, knowing all the work you've put in the off season is going to pay off. I mean, going into the season, I was just trying to throw everything with laser focus on every single pitch, and I think I kind of carried it over to when the season started, just kind of trusting every single pitch. Like, I'm not going to throw a pitch where I'm like, I don't know. That's where you mess up. That's where you get hits, and you just got to trust everything. Even if you do give a home run on a pitch that you wanted to throw and like you knew it was going to be good, it can still be a good pitch. They just get a good swing.
So we got a ball. We went and got a ball, and this is a perfect ball because it's a 2015 College World Series ball. So we weren't very prepared, but I don't know, maybe it's an omen or something. Yeah. So that's cool. All right. So walk me through your arsenal of pitches.
Okay.
And let's just start with whatever you want, and then like how you grip the ball, and then sort of what the release looks like. I'm geeking out a little bit here, but so let's just see what goes into it.
Okay. So four-seam fastball, I just kind of hold like that.
Across the seams.
Yeah.
That's why it's four seams.
Yeah. And then slider, it's really weird. So I'd go like here, and then I'd thumb on the side of the ball.
Okay. And then it turn, and you.
I just throw like fastball.
Okay, fastball. Okay.
Everything I throw, just kind of like fastball mentality. So everything, so your arm speed doesn't like lag or anything.
Okay. All right.
And then cutter, same thing as a four seam, and just kind of turn it.
Okay.
And then change up, splitter, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, so every pitch you throw is like the same release.
Yeah, has to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So none of this like we would throw a curveball, like turn it over, because you just turn it over, right?
Yeah.
And that's how you get hurt. Yeah.
For sure. I mean,
so it's all a matter of grip.
Yeah, grip's the biggest thing.
And like, okay, so let's go through it one more time.
Okay, four seam.
Fastball.
And then cutter. Slider.
Okay.
And then change up.
And so there's no way, like, to tip that pitch other than pick up how it's moving if you're the batter?
Or, I mean, if, like, someone's, like, throwing a fastball here and, like, a off speed there.
But you've worked not to do that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we even before the season, like, we'll watch, like, I know Coach Barr does it. He'll go and watch, like, the fall, see if anybody's tipping their pitches or glove or anything just before we go into the season. So no one can see that.
Yeah. So, okay, let's go back to the splitter.
Okay.
So you developed is this the pitch you sort of developed more of in the offseason?
Yeah. So
all right, tell me what happened there.
So this offseason, I mean, kind of Coach Eager, he's a pitching coach for Stanford. So he was a pitching coach of Team USA, and he was talking to the Japanese pitching coach, and he was telling them, like, all their guys, like, if you're a supinator, they throw like that. If
you're a what?
Supinator. So it's like guys that are like supinating.
Oh, okay,
so like
okay, yeah.
More than like pronation.
Got it,
guy.
got
so
it,
like
got it.
This would be like a supination guy. And this would be pronation. So like the more you pronate, this is easier to throw.
Okay.
Like for me, I'm not a very good pronator, so I got to do it this way. So it just kind of comes off naturally.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was something that really helped you?
Oh yeah, big time. Just having that fourth pitch. I mean, I had a decent change at my freshman year, but I also threw a lot different. I kind of threw from down here, so it helped me a lot this year.
So what are the different movements on different pitches? So like, is it, like when it cuts, it's going side to side?
Yeah, so like change-ups, like a little fade down and away from me.
Okay.
Sliders just up and down, and then cutters more side to side, and then fastballs like a little arm side around.
Yeah, I can see why this is going so well for you, not so well for the hitters. How hard is it to hit a baseball like that?
I don't know.
Like to barrel it
I've
up.
never faced anybody throwing over 90, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
I assume pretty hard.
But yeah, I mean that's the idea.
Yeah.
And like, how often do you hit pretty close to the location that you're trying to hit? I mean,
Pretty
you
often.
know what I mean? Within a
Yeah.
ball or two, or what would be really close? What would be a really close miss for you? Like, I wasn't right where I wanted to
Two
miss.
balls off.
Okay, two
balls
balls
off. But I mean, there's some guys on the team that a ball off miss is like bad for them, it's crazy that people have a good command like that.
What happens when the umpire doesn't have the same strike zone you do?
I mean, I definitely, as a pitcher, bias on the strike zone, so everything looks like a strike in my eyes. It's close, but I mean, the umpire, he's been umping for a while, so he definitely knows the strike zone, or at least
Mentally, though,
yeah,
when you're in a situation, that's a good pitch,
yeah.
and you don't get the call. Do you have to adjust? Like, oh, he's not giving me that part of the plate. I'm gonna have to.
No, I don't do that at all.
You don't adjust,
No.
yeah.
Because I mean, if it's borderline, then I have betting on Huddy to steal it, or Parker to steal it, or Ryder, or
Right,
anybody.
the catcher to put it right.
Yeah.
And so you're just gonna keep doing what you're doing.
Especially, I mean, if I'm like, no, if he hasn't given the whole game, then I'll probably not do it. But I mean, if it's kind of inconsistent at one part, I think you can throw it there as many times as you want. He'd call a ball a strike for the most part.
Like, we should talk about the season opener. I was going to ask you earlier. I totally forgot about it, and I think everybody has because it's whatever. I mean, you've bam, here we go. You're crushing it. But for you, having all these expectations, having the mentality you had in the off season, and I know it's really cold and all that, but just getting to know you a little bit, I don't think you were using that as an excuse.
Not at all.
And so what were you dealing with coming out of that game? What did you go, like, how many innings?
1. Yeah. I mean, coming after the outing, I knew Coach Hobbs was going to pull me as soon as the first thing happened, and I was just kind of sitting back in the tunnel and just my head down. I was like, "What just happened?" Like, I was just kind of shocked for a minute, and then I went back to the dugout after he pulled me, and I just kind of sitting on the rail, and I was just sitting there. I was like, "That's not going to happen again. I'm not going to, like, at least I don't know if it's going to happen again, but I'm not going to make it happen. Like, let it happen again." So I mean, going to the week until Oregon State, I was just head down, just working as hard as possible in the weight room, throwing everything.
Man, that's a rough deal, especially as hard as you worked.
Yeah, I mean, it was definitely a little slap in the face.
But that to what you said earlier, that's just no matter how successful or how poor it goes.
Yeah.
It's tomorrow, right?
Exactly.
It's the next play. It's the next day.
If I would have thought about that outing for a week, I would have probably went 3 innings against Oregon State.
And then it's just going the other way.
Exactly.
Now, right?
It's
like
going
it's just,
downhill.
it can spiral on you.
Yeah.
So the mentality of what you described and just want to win and all that, and it seems that's the mentality of the team.
Yeah.
Does it feel different this year? We understand the culture's great here, and we talked about it already. And we talked about you not being bad last year, but you wanted to be better this year. Does it feel like to you in the 3 years you've been here that this team, this roster, or just this year is just different?
100%.
Really? Yeah. Tell me more about that.
I just think the combination of like talent and work ethic of the team. I mean, look in the fall, I thought we hit really well, pitched really well in the fall. I mean, it was like, holy cow, we're going to win it all in the fall. It's like, so that's our mindset. It's like, we're going to win it all. It's from the fall, from now, I mean, even until the end of the year. So we just kind of have that mindset going, and we have all the pieces to do it. We just got to put it together at the right time. And I always say, like, we struggle like here and there, but that's just how we are. We want to get better.
How do you deal with that when you don't win a series or you're not hitting particularly well, or you don't have the staff doesn't have a great weekend on the mound? Does that chip away at that confidence at all?
No, I mean, not. I don't think so at all. I mean, you're definitely a little upset, but you just kind of move on. It's like me and Hunter Holland talked about last year. It's like you have a bad outing, give yourself 45 minutes, you can be mad, and then other than that, just out the door, on to the next out.
Are you ever not thinking about baseball?
Yeah, I relax a little bit. Yeah, so it's nice going home. Like I said, we go on walks with my dogs, my girlfriend, and that just kind of takes you away from baseball. Taking him, I mean, I take my dog on car rides. I mean, I'll take him up here sometimes, just kind of walk around, just get my mind off everything.
Harley gets the treatment.
Yeah, that's
he went from like, this dude got me and has no idea what he's doing. He gets the treatment now.
Yeah.
You've learned, that's probably taught you a lot too.
Oh yeah, they grew me up fast.
Yeah.
Especially being a freshman, getting that, so much responsibility. You just gotta grow up fast. You have no other option.
You got any advice for freshmen out there watching that think maybe they're just gonna go get a dog?
Don't. Yeah, don't get one.
That's so real. I love it.
Yeah.
It's so real. I love it. You're like, if you can make it through.
Yeah, it's good.
It's good.
Yeah,
but you might not make it through.
Yeah, it was rough at the beginning.
Yeah, that's wild. So, what does this team have to do to realize what you guys have set out to accomplish?
Just have confidence. I mean, I don't want us to play timid. I don't think we are. I don't think we have, but I don't want us to ever be like that, especially going into the postseason or the later part of the year. We got to play really good teams. I just want to play fearless. I mean, that's how you got to live life or play baseball.
Hagen, what are your goals beyond your time in college?
I want to be playing the bigs for as long as I can.
Yeah,
that's my ultimate goal for everybody here.
You know, I ask every player, coach, this: like, when your time at Arkansas is done, how do you hope that people remember Hagen Smith?
Just to be a good person. I should be a great role model. No baseball stuff, just a great person.
You want to influence people in a positive way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like down the road, can you see yourself?
I could see myself
doing that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you like talking to kids and doing that?
I've gotten better at it as I got older.
Yeah.
It's just kind of one of those things. Especially if I'm talking about baseball, I can do it. But
is it embarrassing to you when people walk up to you at Walmart or whatever?
No, I think it's funny sometimes.
Yeah. Do you sign a lot of autographs? Take a lot of pictures?
No, I don't really sign autographs in public. I'll usually pictures only.
Yeah.
But like they just ask for a picture, like because I'll be in the grocery store, like getting something, someone will recognize me, it'll take a picture. But other than that, nothing much.
Yeah. So you just sign at the games.
Yeah.
You don't want to get a whole line. I'm just trying to get some rice here. I'm
getting
home some dog food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wish I could cut my hair sometimes. Just kind of go under the radar for a little bit.
How long have you had the hair?
A long time. I've grown. I got a cut before I went to the beach this summer, and I just haven't cut it since. I need to get a cut.
When's the last time you were out in public without a hat on?
It's been a while. I mean, my hair's getting to the point where I just can't. Yeah.
Can we see what's under the hat?
Oh, a bun.
Like nobody's ever seen this.
It's a little flat.
Like you were in the witness protection program. This is how you go to the store right here.
Yeah. Well,
don't wear a hat.
When I go to church, I don't wear a hat.
Yeah.
Other than that.
Yeah. Well, that makes I bet people don't recognize you at church.
I see coaches and stuff.
Yeah,
there,
I mean, you go with people know you like that. But it's like.
Oh, I look a lot different.
Yeah,
especially when when I actually put stuff in it.
Yeah. Also, somebody told me that you really like cookies.
Yeah.
Like, how's that for your working out?
I'll let myself eat them after an outing. I'll have a sweet treat.
Dude, you're 20 years old. I think you're okay.
I know, but it's spiral quick.
What kind of cookies? What kind of cookies?
Whatever. Especially it's bad. My road roommate's Jake Faraday. And he's a big sweet guy too. So it's like after a game, after I pitch on Friday or Thursday, whatever it is, where he's like, "What do you want?" It's like we'll DoorDash something together.
Yeah. Cookies? DoorDash cookies?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Where's the closest cookie place?
Yeah. No,
like Insomnia or
it's usually
Insomnia
and Crumble. That's usually the two.
They have ridiculous cookies that you can make in a cookie.
Crumble.
Give me a couple that you like.
Chocolate chip. I'm a big chocolate chip.
So that's just your staple?
Oh yeah.
Chocolate chip.
That's the go-to.
If you like chocolate chip, I feel like you end up liking a lot of cookies. Like if you're just basic, like you're like, I'll like anything.
Yeah, 100%.
Peanut butter chocolate?
That's good. I mean, I like any sweets, honestly.
Really? Ice cream guy?
Yeah.
So did you really get the name Cookie Monster, or did they make that up?
I think we're at the SEC tournament, and our old nutritionist Lauren, she made us like these protein balls with like M&Ms on it, and so I think someone got me eating one after an outing because like I tried to eat like get some protein after an outing, and I think someone made a shirt. I think it was Brady that made a shirt in the hotel. It was funny.
You guys seem to get along so well. Like, that's got to make it fun, too.
Oh, yeah. It makes it real fun. That's what makes the season go by fast, and then it's not dragging on.
Not a drain.
Everybody, you like being around everybody.
Yeah, that and winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two things help a lot.
Yeah.
Putting all the work that you've put in, is there any sort of gratification that you've allowed yourself to feel so far?
No, not yet.
So what is the feeling that you have?
I don't know.
What
I
is
don't
the
really have like
mentality
a mentality just to win.
Yeah.
I just want to win it all. I think most of the guys do in the locker room. I mean, that's really our only goal from the start, and we're not. I mean, that's going to be the same goal this year.
You're not thinking at all about, like DVH said, don't care who's in the stands, like what scout, don't care about the draft right now. Not even a little bit, not even in the back of your mind.
No, that's where people mess up. That's where they lose their focus on the season, and they start looking forward to the next thing, and they lose focus to what's happening right now.
How do you know these things?
I don't know.
You just learn from other people and just.
I mean, just seeing stuff. I mean, you hear stuff about people like looking forward. I mean, you can see it. I mean, some guys in the past probably done it. You can kind of tell a little bit. Like they're not very focused on the game. They're kind of worried about something else. You can tell.
Do you ever have we might not know it, but you're having a bad day? Like you just don't feel it today. You don't really have. Really?
Oh yeah.
So what happens in those situations?
You just got to battle through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like everything.
Just got to keep going.
I'm just intrigued by your mindset.
Yeah.
Because you're not a guy apparently that likes to get any credit or take the credit. Like you're just like, that's cool, I'm going to keep going. But I don't think you're giving yourself enough credit for your mindset. Like that mindset's not, like that is challenging.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest part of baseball. Or in life in general.
And it's just something that have you always been like that?
I think it's just growing up, like just being taught, like always be humble, never boast about anything. You can, just say thank you and just kind of move on about it.